Hi everyone, welcome to Step Into Yourself Tarot. I am Savannah and super excited to be doing this first video for you. Today has been a crazy day. I'm leaving out of town in a couple of days and had to get my dogs vaccinated because they're going to be boarded for a few days. So, a couple of things. So last night I had an experience in the middle of the night. I've never had an experience like this. Usually when I fall asleep, I listen to tarot and I listen to playlists. So I know that they don't repeat the same video. They continue from one to the next. And then B, I have never heard such an audible sound in my mind. And it was about 2 a.m. and I heard very abruptly in the middle of the night, and it woke me up, a voice say, "Listen." And so I remember jolting, getting up in the middle of the night, and I looked at my phone and it was 2 a.m. and I looked at the video that was on, and I'm mad at myself because I didn't screenshot it. However, today I've been asking Spirit to show me what it was that I needed to listen to, and I think I got some direction on that. But I don't know. All that to say, today has been one hell of a day, and I don't know. I figured I needed to do a reading. I got some indications tonight as I was home after getting settled with the dogs and them getting out and running down the street, and I have 4, so that was really unsettling for me. So if you hear them in the background, it's because they're whining because it's bedtime. But I am gonna do a reading for the collective tonight, but first I'm gonna call in Spirit. And in my most recent video, if you watched that, I was asking Spirit about this channel and the different practices that I should put into place. So the singing bowl was one of them. So I'm gonna start with that. This was a gift from one of my coworkers and my best friend. Shout out to Donna. I love this bowl. So super excited that Spirit asked me to bring it in. So we're gonna bring in Spirit right now. One more. And then I'm going to lead you through a short meditation just so we can get centered, get in a space of being open. So I'm going to close my eyes. And if you would like to follow along with me, that's great. If not, I totally get that as well. Wherever you are in your space and whatever posture you need to take to be open. Spirit, let your energy fill our body from our head down our arms to our fingertips, down our spines, to the lowest part of our backs. down our thighs, radiating down our legs to our feet. Let you feel our energy. Let us receive yours. I'm going to bring it back up, so through our toes, through our feet, through our legs, through our body. Let me love myself. Let me love others. Let me love myself. Let me love others. Goodness for myself. Goodness for others. Let it flow through my arms, to my fingertips. Let it come back through my arms, up through my chest, along the sides of my neck, up into my ears, into my head. Let you touch our heads. Let you love us. Let us love you. Let you love us. Let us love you. I'm going to bring it back down to our belly, down through our neck, through our chest, radiate down our arms, back to our chest, into our belly. Let us love you. Let us love each other. Let us love self. Okay. So, step into yourself, tarot. Here we go. All right, Spirit. This is a message for the collective. Let's see what Spirit has for us tonight. Like I said, I was feeling the urge to do a reading. Not sure anything other than that. So we'll see what Spirit has for us tonight. What messages do you have for the collective? This is Gold Foil Tarot. Love this deck. Show me the collective. Show me the collective. What do they need to know? What messages do you have for them? Show me the collective. I'm going to do a 3-6-9 spread, which is recent past, present, and recent future. Show me the collective. 2 more, Spirit. Ten of Wands, Death, the Hanged Man, 8 of Swords, the Sun, and the Tower. Ooh. 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, the Emperor. Wow. Okay. So, 10 of Wands. Followed by Death, followed by the Hanged Man. So this is your recent past. 10 of Wands, Death, the Hanged Man. So what I'm seeing from this is, so 10 of Wands, sorrow, conflict, it's picking up your wands though. So wands represent our energy, our ambitions, the things that we're trying to work towards. And 10 of Wands is conflict. And then I see that in the Death card. So Death isn't necessarily a bad card in tarot. Death represents an end and a beginning. So with every end, there's a new beginning. So what I'm seeing with the 10 of Wands coupled with the Death card is there is some mental anguish, some soul anguish. So our wands are not necessarily just our heart, but our energy, our souls, the things that we exhibit in the world. And the 10 is conflict, endings, etc. So then when I see the Death card, it looks to me like this ending has happened. We're feeling the mental anguish of it. We're feeling the spiritual anguish of it. We're so desperately trying to grab our wands and pick them up and even hold them close to us because it's like that. I want to release them, but I also want to hold them close because I don't know what's in the unknown. And then we have the Death card, and Death has claimed it. So that means that whatever this situation was, whatever this thing was that was creating so much mental anguish has been claimed by the Death card. So there has been an ending, and we are, with the Hanged Man, trying to figure out how do we begin that new beginning. So the Hanged Man is a time of deep reflection, deep like searching for truth, searching for understanding. It's basically like we're suspending ourselves in order to understand. So the hangman, you can think of the hangman as like in solitude. We're trying to understand this anguish that happened and this ending. And was it right? Was it correct? Maybe what could I have done differently? What could others have done differently? If it's that kind of a situation. And I am seeing that it's a situation with another only because it's a wand. So if it was a situation within ourselves, we're seeing swords, we're seeing let's see, swords, cups, so our heart space. The wands indicates to me that it's involving others. And so we're trying to figure out in the recent past what's caused this breakdown, what's caused this break. And so much so that it became to a close. It came to a close and an ending. And so in the Hanged Man, we're trying to understand. We're trying to gather clarity. We're in the Hanged Man, we are not really sure. So the Hanged Man, as I see it, is a representation of uncertainty, trying to figure it out. So I see the collective just really reflecting on an end that has occurred, the mental anguish, the emotional anguish, the soul, the anguish of the soul, and why did it come to an end? What do I need to know about that ending, so that I can potentially move forward? Now, when I move over to our present, once again, we are still in this space. So we're being bound by the things that have happened. Whatever that situation may be, the Eight of Swords represents bondage. It represents, once again, like mental anguish about the things that have harmed us, the things that have hurt us, etc. So what I'm seeing from this is you're not necessarily away from the hurt that occurred with the Ten of Wands in your recent past. Right now you're feeling it. You're still feeling it. You are feeling bound by it, almost unable to move forward from it. You see in this image, the woman is completely wrapped up and she's got all these swords around her, which represent knowledge. So swords represent knowledge. And so I have all this knowledge around me, but I'm still bound. I'm still bound because of what has occurred. So with this card, I see that we're still in that space potentially of the Hanged Man, and we're really feeling trapped, encapsulated by it, entrapped by it, really held back. But then the next card is the Sun. So wanting to feel the sun, wanting to feel the warmth. So the sun is something pretty easily that we can feel. We can walk outside and we can feel the sun. We can feel its rays radiating down upon us. And so in this journey that I'm seeing, I'm bound right now, but I am looking towards the sun. What is going to bring me that warmth and get me out of this bondage? Something that's going to illuminate me. So really looking forward to that. Like what is going to carry me to the sun? And based on your Hanged Man, I see that as some of the questions that you're having, like what is going to get me out of this space, over this darkness of the hurt that I've experienced, which I'm currently still experiencing, but then what's going to cross that bridge for me? What is going to get me to that sun? What is going to get me to that warmth, to that light that I so badly desire within me? And then we have the Tower card. And the Tower card is the transformation. The Tower card, oftentimes, it may not be a desired tower. So towers are very swift moving. It's insight that completely transforms our reality. So what I see is the collective looking towards what is going to get me past this, what's going to make me feel that warmth and the tower is soon to come. So the tower, in this case, I believe, representing that knowledge, that understanding, that deep felt within our body, within our soul, within our mind, what's going to get us to the next stage of our healing journey, because all healing is a journey. You know, when we're at the beginning of the journey, we can't seem to even fathom how it's ever going to end. But as we go through that journey, even if it goes back and forth, and this has been my experience, even it goes back and forth between that 10 of Wands, understanding the death that has occurred, trying to understand it, still feeling bondage, even when we feel like we have some gained insights and knowledge about it, even though we crave that sun, that warmth, it's still a journey, and we often may fluctuate between. And so with the tower comes transformation. It comes some kind of understanding or insight as to the conflict that we've experienced. So if you see in this tower card, there's individuals that are actually falling out of the tower. And so it's like that idea of eradicating anything from my life that does not serve me, that does not serve my highest good. I may not like the tower, because oftentimes we don't, because it's uncomfortable, it's swift, it is transformational, however, in many, many ways. Sometimes we can have smaller towers or larger towers. And in this case, based on this spread, I am seeing that this is a pretty big tower. This is a pretty big tower in terms of understanding what created the initial conflict, and the end, and why or how we're going to eventually come into the sunlight, and into that sun energy. So in tarot, you see the sun and the moon, they're opposites. The moon is everything that is hidden. The sun is everything that is enlightened, that is brought to light, brought forth, and that's where we see this tower. I'm not surprised that I see it here in this placement following the sun, because once everything comes to light, you are going to see those things that need to fall away from you, those things that are not serving your highest good. Then we move up to your near future, and we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Emperor. So the way that I read that is the Seven of Pentacles is, it's not a healing within the Pentacles, but it is beginning to plant those seeds. It's planting those seeds, those markers for a new path forward. And we also see that reflected in the Six of Swords. So not only do we have the 3D reality of trying to put things in motion, but we also have the knowledge of putting things in motion. So as you can see, this individual on the Six of Swords, they're on a boat, they're looking off into the distance where there's castles in the distance, and they're covered by knowledge. So they are trying to create a new pathway for themselves. And so the way that I'm interpreting this is, you're beginning to basically plant those new seeds. Take that road and start to travel that road that is going to lead to that sun that was referred in your present energy, that desire that you were hoping for. So I see you actually starting to take the action. You have the ability to make it the reality. You have the knowledge, and you know where you want to go in the swords. And then your outcome is the Emperor. So anything that I want to make happen, I can make happen. And I make it happen because I know that it is good and it is right. And I am strong. I am mighty. I am in control of my future. I am in control of my journey. And so that's what I'm seeing in this card with the Emperor. It's really beautiful. I see like a whole progression here of here's the heartache in our recent past. Here's the things that, you know, disappointed me, hurt me, harmed me. There was a close to that. I'm trying to understand that close. I'm trying to understand that ending. I'm still feeling stuck by it somewhat, but I have the desire to reach for more. I want to get out of this space. And that happens with your tower, and it happens by action, by knowledge, and by strength. This is beautiful right here. So I'm making it happen in my reality. I'm beginning to take the steps to rebuild my path. I'm looking off into the distance, but I'm also still going towards it. So he's on a boat and he's traveling towards it. So I am taking that journey and I'm doing it with the strength of the Emperor. So I know what is right for me. I know what is correct for me. When I know what is correct, I can do. I can make anything happen. And that is the energy that the collective is showing me today. I can make anything happen. Doesn't matter where I've been, where I currently am. I know what I'm reaching for. I know what I'm reaching for. And I have the energy to do it. I have the wherewithal to do it. I have the knowledge, the body, the soul, and the heart to bring it all together. Excellent. So I think we're in a pretty good place. I mean, to me, this is what constitutes the human journey of any kind of struggle experience that we have. Love this. Love this. Anything else, Spirit, that you want us to know? I am a little bit curious about the sun. I want to see what the sun is that you're reaching towards. I think sometimes it's really helpful for us to think about it and understand what is that goal that we're reaching for. What's the thing that we see as lighting us up, helping us feel warmth? Because oftentimes the sun can actually be an illusion. So maybe we might be reaching for a sun that isn't really true. So I am curious to see what that sun is. Show me that sun. Show me that sun. Okay, one more, Spirit. Show me that sun. I want to see what that sun is for the collective. The Chariot, you want to move towards it. It's the Muse of Inspiration and the Ace of Inspiration. So a lot of wands in this reading. And so the Chariot moving towards that sun. So it's something that you are feeling completely compelled to move towards. It is coming from within you. You have the momentum beneath you to be able to make it happen. The Chariot is, I know I need to move and I need to move now. I know it's right action. I am ready to make that step. And we saw that in your Seven of Pentacles, your Six of Swords, and especially in your Emperor energy. What you are moving towards, the Muse of Inspiration. So in this deck, the Muse replaces the Kings. So once again, we have another high card, King of Wands. And in this, you can see sources in the center here. There's this individual ready to cross the path. There's even one on the side over here, and there's fire coming out the two entities' hands. So a place of total inspiration, passion, etc. And at the center of it, there's Source with light shining down. You're under the moonlight, but this fire is illuminating your path. So you're wanting to move towards a passionate journey, something that actually fills you, which I see represented by your Ace of Wands as well. So a lot of Wands energy. So you're wanting to feel. Wands is like feeling, not like Cups where it's love or fulfillment, but Wands is the energy behind it. So you're wanting to feel the energy, both within yourself, but also on your journey. And I do see that represented by the rest of your spread for sure. The Seven of Pentacles. You also have, let's see, what else? The Ten of Wands. So it makes sense where your journey has been, I don't want to say plagued, but conflicted by so much pain and conflict, etc., that now I'm wanting to switch that up. I'm wanting to go towards a higher energetic frequency, like the King of Wands, like the Ace of Wands. I have the knowledge, I have the ability to make it happen with your Emperor. Excellent. I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Anything else that you want to add to this message, Spirit? So we see what the Sun is, just more passion in our journey. We see the heartache, we see the ending of a cycle, so that a new beginning can occur, and we're striving for that Sun. Worth. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Worth. You are love itself. So you're worthy of that passion, that passionate journey that you're wanting to incorporate into your life. Maybe that's the Tower moment that you realize your worth. And instead of being on this path of all these conflicts and this death, this ending, this feeling like you're bound, is it bound? And even look at, in the Worth card, we have the Lion at the center. So that speaks to Leo energy for sure. It speaks to the Strength card. Is that what the Tower was? Is that what your Tower was speaking to? Is like an understanding of like, I deserve more than these things that bind me. I deserve to have fire. I deserve to have passion. Anything else, Spirit? Sacrifice. Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. So sometimes surrender is painful. God is cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. So are you ready to make that sacrifice to your self-love? because this card is speaking to your self-worth. Cutting away all that needs to go. So yesterday I heard in a reading, let all that wants to go, go, and all that wants to come, come. And so I share that with you. What are those things that you're wanting to come? What are those things? And what are those things that you're wanting to let go of? Speak it out. Speak it into the universe so that it does remove itself from you. What else do you have for the collective, Spirit? Anything else? Any other messages that you have for the collective? Anything else? It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. So is that part of the Eight of Swords that binds you? That's what I'm seeing it as. The Eight of Swords. The thing that holds you back because you're not seeing your worth. I'm going to repeat again. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. And then the other card, together. I love working together with others and how it makes once impossible dreams possible. I see there is strength and unity and how much we can accomplish together. Asking for help is not weak, it is powerful. Okay, so I don't know why I'm getting this, but right now I'm thinking about the Worth card. Asking for help is not weak, it is powerful. So one of the greatest things that I ever heard, and probably the greatest piece of wisdom that I ever received in my life, is that it was like an 8th grade teacher of mine. She used to say, counseling. Smart people get counseling because it teaches us about us. And so asking for help is not weak, it is powerful. So I encourage you, if you're struggling with seeing your worth, definitely reach out for that help. You are loved. I love you. Spirit loves you. It is okay. We all experience these 8 of Swords, these things that we're just like constantly ruminating on, and I think that oftentimes we have to look through somebody else's eyes to be able to see what is actually there in our worth. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. You are love itself. Excellent. Okay. What's going to help the collective feel this worth? Spirit, what's going to help the collective understand their worth, understand these things that bind them, understand these things that make their journey difficult? They have that desire. They have the desire to move towards the sun. What's going to help with that journey towards the sun? And understanding their worth, that they are loved. I know the number of hairs on your head. It's going to help them. Besides reaching out for help with the last card, anything else that will help them. Anything else, Spirit? Maybe not. Anything else? Outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. So the way that I'm reading this as is definitely like something that you can say to yourself. So, dear love or dear spirit, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. So I think this speaks to really reaching out for help from spirit, letting go of the ego. We all think we know our plan. We think that we have it all figured out. We have our blueprint. And when that doesn't happen, it results in the conflict, the feeling bound, not understanding, the deaths, the close, because when something isn't right for us, it's going to come to an end, because that's the universe's will. And so this card is really speaking to, let me be open to the greater plan for me, the plan for my higher self. No matter what pain it brings me, it's going to result in the sun. It's going to result in the Emperor energy. And then the next card, Inner Power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. And so I just encourage you to really say that to yourself. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Excellent. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like there's one more out of the archetypes. Any final messages that you have for the collective today, Spirit? Any final messages? Any added layer that you want to bring to this reading for them? Any added message? Any additional layer? Which I think is pretty strong. I mean, the value of valuing ourselves and our worth and understanding it is pretty big. The thread. The thread. I love this. So spirit is the thread out of the darkness. So there's this thread that goes from the darkness, the shadows, up until the rainbow, the light. And if you notice, the thread is a straight line. It's not curvy. It's not this way and that way and topsy-turvy. And oftentimes when we are conflicted within ourselves, we're going in all these different directions. But the thread of spirit takes us straight up through the darkness towards goodness up here, out of the shadows, out of the darkness, and it's held up by him. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. That's not to mean that there's not going to be storms. You're going to feel the storms, but on the outskirts of those storms is spirit, right here, right here. So you need to grab onto that thread that will take you up through the darkness to goodness. Thank you, Spirit. I think that might be it, but I'm going to pull one. What's the energy or the thing that you want the collective to be thinking about after this reading? What's the thing that you want the collective to be thinking about? I am loved, courage, and dark moon rising. I am loved, courage, and dark moon rising. So the way that I interpreted this is, obviously I'm loved. You're worthy, as demonstrated through the other cards. Courage, you have to have courage through this journey. And then the dark moon rising, I'm going to actually read this. Oh, deep healing. Healing, I believe, is what's going to bring you to this dark moon rising. So let me just actually pull this up in my book. Because I feel like there's an additional layer of message there. Let's see, dark moon rising. Where's it at? Where's it at? Page 70. This is the start of something new. With the silent energy of a dark moon, do not be afraid to dive deep into your feelings and swim in the cool depths of your emotions. When you come back up for air, do not forget the lessons that you learned in your hidden places, for you must bring that truth and wisdom forward with you. Okay, so I'm thinking of this card, those hidden places, when you're in that darkness. When you're in the middle of the storm, don't forget the thread that elevates you. You must bring that truth and wisdom forward with you. Return to your foundation, your foundational, most supportive practices. Untangle your mind from distorted thoughts. So it's the start of something new. Do not be afraid to dive deep into your feelings and swim in the cool depths of your emotions. Excellent. And then I'm actually going to look up deep healing as well, just to leave you on that thought, because I feel like there's going to be something really beautiful in that. Deep healing. Where is it? Where is it? Why am I not seeing it? Deep healing. Well, we know what deep healing is. Okay, 16. But I feel like there's something in here. It literally is missing from this card or this book. Deep healing. That's so interesting to me. Oh no, here it is. This card speaks to an ancestral wound that has been carried into the present time and is ready to be healed. So are there any ancestral wounds that is carried into the present time? So actually recently I had a Reiki experience, and this was brought up in my Reiki healing. This long-held pain is not to be erased or hidden by shame, but must be brought forward with great care into the light and covered in love, forgiveness, and truth. Healing is at first messy and may leave a scar behind, but you must remember that there is beauty in the healing, and your scars do not need to be passed along. So there's beauty in the healing. I am loved. I must have courage. There's beauty in the healing. so that we can get to the Emperor energy. I'm on top of my game, basically, and the sun that adorns us. I love this. I hope you found this helpful.